Yeah. All right. So yeah, you got a few months.
Yeah.
How's it going with the truck driving?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, finding my feet there and whatnot. I've yesterday I signed up for my blue card, so that's going to get me from a trained operator to a competent operator. So maybe £1 or £2 more on the hourly rate. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then
Cool.
just keep working on the product side.
So yeah, you did that as the responsible thing to do, knowing you're going to be a father and knowing that you weren't quite there yet with your personal training business or online business.
Yeah.
How long do you want to be doing that for?
Until I can get the online stuff to the same sort of income as what I'm getting from truck driving. So no longer than like a year. Like I'm already getting bored of it now. Like I'm joining DAB while I'm working.
It's a good skill to have, and it's good that you've got that income. It's good you want to provide for your family, but it's good to be clear on what your goals are as well. So what do you need to make then? What are you making there an hour?
So it's like I'll probably say like $3,000 a month I'm earning there.
Yep.
So $3,000 online would be the goal, really.
Yeah. What is that an hour? How many hours are you doing? And
like Monday to Friday it's 49 hours, and then if Saturdays are on, another 5 hours on a Saturday. But we get paid for 10, so it's quite good doing a Saturday.
Yeah. So it's like 50 or 60 hours, and then so if it's $3,000, it's like, is that like 50 quid an hour?
Yeah, it's like £17 an hour. I'm on the rate. Yeah. I think it's like 20-30% tax as well. So
yeah. Cool. So pretty much if you can simplify it back to the maths, right? Of like, okay, well, I need to be doing 2 or 3 hours of sales a day, and that time needs to be worth 70, 80 pounds or 100 pounds. If you know that time is to be 100 pounds an hour, it's like, okay, well, I need to be on average selling a 12-week package, every 2 days that I'm on there. You know what I mean? Like, bring it back to those similar sort of numbers of what needs to happen. And because a lot of, with the driving, you have to be a certain place, a certain time. But a lot of people, when they think about online, they kind of think the money just comes from the fairies, and you just do stuff and then it's all going to be good. But and no extra time goes into the money making side of it. And you're going to have some time that's dedicated to fulfillment, just doing things like this, having a call with the person who you've, sold the product to, and continue to update and things like that. But the main challenge when you say, well, yeah, there needs to be income, is to actually put time into the money making activities. And so everyone thinks about reels, but realistically, even from what I know of businesses much bigger than mine, they still rely a lot on direct outreach. If it's really good, then they're inboxing you with a question, but then you still got to speak to them and answer the questions to get them to buy the product. And it's not always like that. It's not the only way, but it's probably going to be like that, where you got to be having a conversation with them and talking, building trust to the point where you make the sale.
I spoke to a girl the other day on Instagram. She's a England basketball coach, and she's just coming back from a ACL and meniscus tear. And it's funny, we kind of started going back and forth. She sent me a post, and then that sort of broke the ice. And then like I say, I just sort of offered my services to her basketball teams, and she also like sort of expressed, if you need any help with your knee rehab or anything like that, I can help you out. So she finishes with a personal trainer in November, and she said she might give me a shout. So I just try and keep that lead kind of warm.
Where's she based?
She's in Birmingham, so like round the corner, local. She was playing women's BBL last year as well, so or the year prior before she was injured. So good level player.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, for you, this is, you know, it's a big deal whether you're making sales or not, because it means you either get to do this stuff or you do something else. And conversation I have with a lot of the men who are looking to make this transition is that dealing with people, like working with people semi-locally or locally, is generally easier to sell. So even though you're thinking online business, anything within 2 or 3 hours of you, the ability to sell it at a higher price with higher trust is much greater, because you can offer within that, I can come and see you. Anyone in the UK, pretty much, even in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm planning to be over there, or you can come and visit me. And that adds a lot more value. If you're selling to someone in America and Australia, it's a good sign that, okay, the brand's strong now, like the people are really trusting this thing. But think about how many personal training sessions are done each day and how much money goes into the personal training industry. Like there's a lot of money and a lot of sessions, and that's still a lot bigger than, I would say that's probably bigger than online. And I would say it's probably paid a lot higher. You know, a lot of people buy the online thing, but it's like they buy a £25 thing off someone and they're never going to do anything with it. You know, now it's probably shifting. It'd be hard to know the exact numbers, but if that was me and it's my child and future online, like I'm finding a way to go and have a coffee with her or get in a session with her, or, you know, offering her, like, have you been doing backwards sled? Have you been walking backwards up hills? Like I wouldn't just be like, oh, hopefully we'd speak in November, you know. I would be on that to meet her and just say, hey, can I come watch one of your sessions? Or like, you know, can I come watch one of your teams play and just, you know, talk basketball with you? And yeah, like I get it that you're time poor, so it's a challenge, but
I think I've definitely got time to like go down to a session or something like that. Like they generally will be in the evening, and
it's the guys who turn up, man.
Yeah,
the guys who turn up. Like everyone thinks they want to work in pro rugby, but it's the 2% of guys who are actually willing to turn up and stand there and watch sessions and show you that, like, I know how to turn up. I know how to watch and not be a dickhead. I know how not to try and take over the session just because I come and watch. And there's that person that you give the interning role, and then that intern becomes, okay, he's been around for a year. The head guy leaves. It's easy just to take the intern on because he's quite professional. And like that literally happened in 2 of my jobs. You know, Fred Masteru went from me hiring him as that intern type to running the Catalan Dragons and Bordeaux Beagles and stuff. And Pat Lane did that at the Roosters and coached 2 premierships at 26, you know, as the strength coach. Like, getting yourself in the environment is half the battle. Find 5 environments that you can get yourself in on a semi-regular basis that have the kind of people that you want to work with. You know, you're a lot closer to the target. Even if you can just be saying on your online stuff and showing them photos of like, I've been hanging out with these people from the internet. Like, it shows you're serious. Like, it's not a big no. It's like, I actually really want to make an impact on basketball. Like, I am showing up and I do speak to the top people in the game in the UK. And that has some credibility if you're talking to someone in the States as well. Like, it doesn't really matter what the standard of basketball is. It's like, how serious are you about what you do? So if you can do that, it adds a lot more weight to your sales and to your offer. And putting that stuff on your stories, you know, like, just show that you're not just some dude who just wants to make easy money doing nothing. Like, that's too much of the online stuff it doesn't have any base to it. So the two key things for your offer, right? Like we've been talking about the offer.
Yeah.
What are the two key things that make a good offer?
Just off the top of my head, I'd say it's
Yes.
like low effort. So like
Low effort. Yeah,
low
low
buy-in
effort.
from them.
Yeah, these are the dividing factors. So these are the ones that are underneath the time and effort. That's if the time's super high and the effort's super high, then that's more friction around the offer.
Yeah.
If the time is low and the effort's low, which with the reversed out knee pain and like ATG zero type, that those kinds of approaches, then that's why they're good, because they decrease that stuff. You don't have to go to the gym. You 10, 15 minutes, it works really well. But the ones on the top, what is the foundation of the offer? And just thinking about logically, like if you're going to buy something, when you bought again with Pro, like what did you buy for?
Just like
not time.
Sort of like a guarantee, or like the product you're buying is going to get the result that you desire, in a sense.
Yeah, it's going to get the result that you desire. The guarantees are like separate function guarantees and bonuses. But what you're getting at with guarantee, it's like that. It's like the probability of success, and then what is success? What is the dream outcome? These are the two things. Dream outcome. So dream outcome for basketball players: you're jumping higher, you got no knee pain, you love being on the court, you get an extra 5-10 years on the court, you don't get your knee replaced. These are the dream outcomes. You know, whatever. Depending on who you're talking to, some of them won't be thinking about the knee replacement and the 5 extra years. They'll be just thinking about getting to the international, like getting to the England team and getting to college or whatever. So you got to learn their dream outcome. So I often ask people on the calls, hey, where do you want to be a year from now? Like if you could choose, but you had to do the work and you're going to have a massive year, where would you be 12 months from now? Because then I know your dream outcome. If I know your dream outcome, it's not just that, oh yeah, I can sell you that, because half the time when I'm talking to someone, they've already bought, but it's like, I can design the product around that as well. It's like, okay, yeah, we need to tighten up on that area. Like, or if I add an extra video around that, or he needs to talk to that person, in our network, we have that strong connection component.
Yeah.
But what is her dream outcome as a coach? What's she worried about? What's her fear? And what's like amazing to her? What would be like, well, that's phenomenal. And then what's the probability that you can get it to her? Like, that's the problem that you would have when you're talking to her. She's like, oh, this is some random dude. Like, he seems nice, but, is he even working full-time in basketball? Did he play for England? Like, why would I trust him with my knee? Like, on some level, it's that probability, credibility thing. So you have to sell to her. No, I've been trained by the world's best. Like, this is Ben Patrick's stuff that is the foundation of it. And this is, he's working with... you got to build up your credibility as much as you can. If you're banging your head on the ring, if you're, I had that injury myself as well. Like, what were the credibility stories you told her?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't think I did. Yeah, I just kind of said, I'm an ATG coach, and knees are kind of knees are our speciality.
Does she know what ATG is?
I think so. She was relatively receptive. Like, she didn't ask about ATG specifically.
You have to ask her. The person who's asking the questions is the person who's directing the conversation.
Okay.
What do you know about ATG? Has ATG had much of an impact on your girls?
Yeah, yeah.
And then your credibility story is, oh yeah, ATG transformed my knees. If you this is my story with it. You send her a 1-minute reel, or like a short form video, or a short YouTube video, that tells the story of why you love ATG and what impact it had on you. And then you're like, these are some of the people I've worked with so far. It's like clip, 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 clip. It worked. Now I'm jumping. And then you've got more credibility. You've got an interest then, because you've played the probability of outcome for her, and credibility and likelihood of it, that guarantee side that you're talking about. But then, what is the dream outcome? Is it just that it fixes pain? Okay. Or is it that it's actually going to improve her performance? Like, what is her dream outcome that you can work towards? What would you say it would be for her?
I think it's just getting back on the court and like getting to a level of confidence. So she, like I said, she played BBL. And
I
this
don't know what
season,
BBL is, man.
okay, so
British Basketball League, is it, or is it
yeah.
national?
So that's the pro league in the UK.
Yeah, cool.
And then
Did you play that last year, or?
so she was injured. She had a surgery in September 2022. So it's probably the back end of last season, early 2022. She's been rehabbing for like a year.
Yep.
And then so this year she's not playing that professional level, and she's playing like the semi-pro amateur level, which is we call it like National League, the British England Basketball Division 1.
Yeah. How many messages did you have with her?
It was like a good like 10, 15 messages back and forth. Like I say, I was asking her sort of questions like
did she cut it off, or did you kind of just leave it at like, you went too early for the sale? That's what I would say. If it's 10, 15 messages and you said like, I can help you out, then you kind of come across a bit like a creep.
Yeah. I did. I think I did all right. You know, I wasn't too. I didn't like push it like, yeah, you can work with me like this. I just.
But why did you offer your services when she didn't ask? Like when she didn't, you know.
Because I thought I could help. Yeah,
but you didn't build a rapport with her, so you just like a random dude. It's like Sonny Bill Williams, somehow by chance Sonny Bill Williams is messaging you like, oh yeah, I can train you, Sonny, if you want. You know, like it's like, oh, you get Usain Bolt on the DM. You're like, oh yeah, I can train you, Usain Bolt. Like, you know, you just seem like a dickhead. You know, it's probably like, I'm exaggerating because she probably didn't feel like that, but it sounds like you didn't get far enough to show like, no, I've got a world first good method here, and people in England don't know about it yet. So I know it seems a bit weird that a guy that doesn't have a super high profile would potentially have a better method than you, who's plugged into the best of the best in the English system. But I think I've actually got something better here. Like, you have to make that case properly. Otherwise you just seem a bit loony.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't feel like that, but probably she does. Like, I've been in the sports world and guys are like all the time, like, oh yeah, I've got this really good method and I'll come down and show the boys. I'm like, yeah, cool. Just drop me your number and, you know, I'll invite you down. And they want to bring some martial arts method or something to the pro rugby team. And they're like, they didn't build it up in a way that there'd be any interest in it. Now that if they build it up right, I did bring a martial arts guy in. I brought in a Systema, you know, guy to show the players like soft movement, but I went and did sessions with him first, you know, and I was on the lookout for other things. Like, you have to figure out also if is she an experimenter? Like, what did you try? What have you done? You would have needed to have 50 or 100 messages with her before you went anything close to serious.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be happy to talk about themselves. Like, I want to make a career out of this. Like, you've been to the top, you know what it's like there. You know, if you're just all about respect and learning from her, then it's likely she's going to continue to have the conversation with you. And that's your main goal, is to get to the next conversation. When you're in a weaker position and you're dealing with someone who's national level, if you had a Ben Patrick's account, it would be different. But I haven't looked at your Instagram in a while. So let me have a look at what your actual account looks like and see what she's looking at as a first perspective. I get where you come from, Pete, and I think she should do it. But you know what? I'm playing her position.
Yeah. You're just trying to, like you say, even just your explanation of like the ATG stuff, like that sort of clarity and wordplay just isn't my forte yet. So,
and it's practice. It's a learned skill. Like, that's why I want you to be having these conversations. But I would have gone to voice messages as well, way before I talked to her about. So then you're more human. It's like, oh, this is amazing. I'm really generally, if someone's done well in sports, like, there's generally like ego and pride, and you know, if you like winning trophies and stuff, and it doesn't make you a bad person. But if you can play to the side of, if you show that respect, it's not play. It's like, she literally is your dream client, or she knows all your dream clients. So
Yeah.
it is like, I want to understand you. I really want to understand you. So 10 or 15 messages, like the only reason you would stop would like, and maybe she wanted to cut you off, and that in that case, well, it's like, is what it is. But if it was like, just like, okay, let's catch up in November, and it might still work out. You might play a long game. There's no one way of doing this. Maybe just being super patient, have a couple of messages, and then like, okay, it's November now. Like, can we meet? Or, how's it going? You wouldn't go in with can we meet? You go in with start again from zero, pretty much.
Yeah.
Assume that she thinks you're a lunatic, and you just want to work from there. So I can see your pictures of your training on your IG. What you need to have there, and there's one in Ninja Suits or something, Spider-Man. What's that one?
No idea.
It's one of your early ones. Yeah, everyone's wearing red ninja suits or something.
Okay.
Red masks. So.
Oh yeah, that was from the gym. We went go-karting.
All right, gotcha. Looks like you're playing Ninja Turtles. So yeah, and anything can be good. Like, be yourself, but be yourself in a way that could appeal to the person that you want to deal with. And if you want to be off the wall, wacky, like do your stuff in Spider-Man outfits, like that could work for you, because it gets attention. It's like, okay, well, this guy's like, he's all about, he's not inhibited, but he can jump, and he's a nice guy, and whatever. So there's no credibility of it. Shows that you train, which is cool. None of those screenshots immediately tell me. I guess there's the one of you stretching your knees, and you get the split squats position. So I guess there's some credibility in the split squat position that I can see, and the sissy squat position. But can you jump? Can you dunk?
Yeah. There's a clip a bit further down doing a 360.
Yeah. So put the screenshot, because I don't want to search through all your videos to see if you can do anything good.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not that interested in you. But if I look at the thumbnails, and if the thumbnails are showing that you're getting some air, and you want to show that you're getting some air, you could put the text all 4 plants, and then putting text into the. You can go back and change the screenshots as well.
Right. Okay.
So that's a good quick win. Put some text on the screen. Even the one you just stand there with the bar on your back. I don't know what it is, but you can make it like jump higher. Go and research. Look at some different accounts that you like, and find. You can put screenshots that are unrelated to the clip, and just make interesting screenshots. You could use AI screenshots. Most of these screenshots aren't going to do you that much benefit. If someone loves your stuff and they think, whatever, then they'll go through them. But you could even just putting text on them of what the video is about is like more likely to pick their interest. That, okay, I'm going to watch this and see if it's worth my 30 seconds.
Yeah. Just give them
everyone always answer it.
a little more information before they click on it. Like,
yeah, just go look at some other channels that you like, and you'll see like jump higher ? Or I hit my head, and it's like, and it shows you in the plant position, or all 4 plants, or finally single foot, or whatever people in basketball world are interested in. What is your story? The Bachelor of Sports Science, exercise science. If you could say that in 3 characters, or I would just cut out maybe the exercise at least, and then you get some land back. Personal training, online coaching. Again, you're wasting words.
Yeah.
But what's your story?
I don't know. Basket.
What have you overcome? What do you love? What do you hate?
Personally, I've never had like a terrible injury. I've had ankle sprains, and that's it. Like, I've never had a knee injury. I've never had any issues. The only issues that I've had, like, that were chronic. Pardon?
You put your mission there. Nobody
Yeah.
like people
So
can. If you've got coach there, you've already said what you said in the first two lines. If you got coach above it, everyone gets it, and they don't really care whether you've got a degree. If you want to say you got a degree, fine. Like some people like having that.
yeah,
I never say it. No one ever asks, and I don't think anyone cares. Like no one ever asks, does he have a degree?
yeah.
But
I
and
think
it's a
I think
bachelor. It's not a PhD.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's just thought it's good for credibility, and
if it was a PhD, or if people cared, it's just too easy to get these, and there's so many of them. And often, to me, it means often that the guy's kind of narrow-minded and doesn't really train. Like that's what I suspect. If it says that they got the degree, and if their profile isn't popping, then it's like, okay, yeah, he just thinks these people should work with him because he went to university. And to
yeah.
me, that's not really the case. But what is your mission? Fix,
I so my
fixing.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say I did have a mission when I was like coaching basketball. I wanted to like bring the level of basketball up in the UK.
Yeah.
Like
You could, yeah. You like skill development as well in basketball, don't you?
yeah. I love like I think that's what my problem is. I love doing everything. So
Yeah.
like I love learning sports and doing
How
different
much
things.
BJJ have you done? You got 2 photos of BJJ stealth thing.
I probably did like 4 or 5 years of training with that. Like
Cool.
I played golf for 10 years of my life, got down to like a low handicap there. Like I have loads of skills, but they're
That
just
would be more
all
interesting,
random.
Pete. That would be more interesting as a profile.
Yeah.
5 years BJJ, single digit golf, sport lover, upgrade your sporting life. And that's kind of interesting. And then show you hitting the ring, show you go to the driving range, show you can still hit the ball. Like to me, that would be more interesting. If you really want your business to be around basketball, you could look at some of these, and even just I would probably post it anyway, use it on your stories and stuff. Like do basketball skill stuff. There's an Italian guy that posts all techniques of basketball. I think he was in Real Movement back when we were connected with ATG.
Okay.
He's got a really good channel. It's grown quite well, and he posts all different techniques on the court, like dribbling drills, but quite game related as well. The feather stuff.
Yeah.
He's really tall. And if I find his account, but you got to be solving a problem. You understand? Like the dream outcome is you're solving someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Do you have extreme credibility in speed, vertical, and strength? Is that like the thing that you want? Like that's at the moment, that's what you're banking on there, because that's strength, vertical, and speed. Are you really good in that way? And then how do I show that?
Yeah, maybe not the strength side, but I'd like to say I'm pretty quick and I can jump pretty decent. Like I've always been more athletic than people that I've played with, and
yeah. So show that, prove that, because it doesn't look like it. Like from anything, just a quick look at your profile, because you want that woman to see your profile and go, "Oh fuck, this guy's got hops." Like like if that's the thing, if that's what you're going to back. Like something needs to be $1 million about you, Pete.
Yeah.
You can't be playing for average on Instagram and online. Like you got to be playing for the top. And if you're really good with your words and stuff, then you can. You can get by with being average, and you just you go target like wealthy men and just be a nice guy, be someone who gets the job done. You'll get there. Like there's many paths to get to that kind of first target that you're talking about, being able to replace your truck driver and income. But yeah, that mission, dream outcome. And the cool thing is you can have multiple dream outcomes because you're only, you're looking for 12-week journeys with people, 12 weeks to hitting the ball further, 12 weeks to jumping higher, 12 weeks to pain-free knees, 12 weeks to being able to roll again in your BJJ. You can solve all that stuff, can't you? But your profile doesn't really speak to that. You don't really need to, like, you could build this page as okay, I'm going to stick to the basketball niche. I'm going to get to the top in UK basketball. But in real life and in real conversations, that you just need the people who want to go on this journey with you. So this is your offer. What's the promise and what's the believability that goes with it? What's the dream outcome and what's the probability that this person is going to, do it? So you can remember it as promise and probability. What's the massive promise and what's the probability that this person's going to get it with me? How do I make it feel like it's guaranteed? How do I make it feel like it's automatic? As soon as they buy, boom. And that's what you work towards in your product development. You can see you've been with us now for 2 years, right? You've seen a lot of iteration within Uncommon Success.
Yeah.
We keep working to make the probability of the outcome higher and higher. It's more difficult to do this at a distance with a different outcome that requires more change of the mind than if it was just fitness. It was getting guys shredded. Like you can see, there's been tons of results with that, and it's pretty easy. But that you could build your business around that. Like you see, I don't know if are you in the group for the lean countdown diet?
No, I don't think I am. No.
So there's heaps of energy in there. Like there's tons of energy of guys like wanting to get in their best shape this month.
Yeah.
I could easily run a business that's just that. 12 weeks, you learn about food, you get yourself in great shape, you get really consistent. That's $1,000 product, and you sell 10 of them every month. That's 10 grand a month. Like it's not that hard, man. Like
yeah.
There's all of these products within what we're offering here, but the thing is to be able to have the conversation of what's your dream outcome. If you could have your way, where do you want to be 12 months from now? Of like thinking big, what's the best position you could imagine yourself being in 12 months from now, knowing that you had to do the work to get there. That's their dream outcome.
Yeah.
And then what's the probability of getting there? Because then they're like, well, yeah, I want to be, if someone tells me I want to be a billionaire, or, I want to be the best jet pilot in the world. And like, I can probably help pretty much anyone with any outcome because I can connect them to whatever. I can help them to be more consistent with it. Like that's what I built, a success system that goes with almost anything. But if someone was to tell you they wanted to win a beauty pageant, then you'd be like, well, fuck, I don't know. Like, if the body composition is the main thing, cool. But if they need to figure out how to get their makeup and hair and shit right, like then it's not for you. If that's the dream outcome, it's like, yeah, cool. I'm not really that into that stuff, but good luck. So you need to know what your dream outcomes are, but then you need to know what their dream outcomes are. And then you want it to be, okay, well, yeah, this is why I've got credibility in that realm. And so often it's leveraging other people's stuff is the easiest way of like, yeah, I'm connected with this person, that person, but your own personal results in that area. Oh yeah, I won a male modeling competition. I did this with, So to help in like to understand the logic of you want to get deeper on those conversations and not trust them to recognize your brilliance straight away.
Yeah. I'd say, like you say, I was sort of I was asking her questions just all about like a training and whatnot. And then as I ended the conversation, I was like, oh, give these couple exercises try, like set some reps, and something that she can go away with, play with for a week or two, and then hopefully come back and be like, oh, the step ups really help my knee. So but you want to be more asking questions, because you probably didn't get to the point of rapport where she would trust you with that. Like she's coming back from an ACL, she's talking to a surgeon, she's working with the best, the best physio. That she probably cares a lot. She probably has someone who she really trusts, unless she's told you, oh, they're not really doing a good job, I don't really trust them. Yeah.
You would generally assume.
She was like pretty, she's kind of confident in her own abilities, I think. So she didn't have a physio up until like, or a personal trainer or anything up until like last month. So she's been like self-rehabbing for the last year almost. And it's only been this last 2 months that she's had a trainer.
So you want to have, like, it's a curiosity thing, Pete, like questions and have you tried and do you know about and what's helped the most, and that if she's not asking you for advice, try not to give it, because you don't have authority. Like, she's the one at the top, you're the one at the bottom. You want to be the one at the top, but the way you're going to get there is by showing respect and getting the information from her, and then directing her towards, okay, you might want to try this, you might want to try that. You want to be the specialist by her side because she's the hero, and she's done the top stuff. If you could show her 10 case studies that you already worked with NBA players and college basketball players and top players in the British Basketball League, then they'd be different. But at the moment, she's got the so. And I'm just using, that's just an example, but it's probably like, there's a reason you don't have business, Pete. You're one of the first guys in the UK to know ATG. You're a nice guy. You're a good athlete. What's the gap? The gap is you don't know how to sell. Like, you don't know how to speak to people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be driving trucks. I guarantee it, because you're not lazy. You're a nice guy. You're athletic. So the gap is you don't know how to talk to people in a way that ends up with them going, yeah, please help me. Because there's thousands of people working as personal trainers in the UK who are not anywhere near as good as you. But they have the ability for someone to say, yep, here's my cash, here's my card, let's do this. That's the thing that needs to change. And if you recognize, okay, that's the main thing, then you'll get there because you work on it. And so that's the conversation that we're having. It's like, it's not about that specific conversation. It's about the principles of understanding exactly what their dream outcome is, and then helping them to understand the credibility that you have in that realm, and showing that you care. So you want to go to voice messages especially if you're online together at the same time, and there's good rapport building. Then you want to go to a voice or a video message, show them that you're a real person. Even them hearing your voice as that's what we're like as people. We connect more deeply. Sometimes it's annoying if they're out and about or whatever. Like, it can be annoying if you're getting lots of voice messages of someone, if they've got high volume inbox as well. It depends how many followers they have. It's all guesses, but even sending one short voice message increases the connection. Everything that you do that increases the trust and connection, you're getting closer to the sale. So if they're answering your questions, and you got to try and sense the energy of, are they getting back to me fast? Do they seem to be into this? Do they go back and forth with me on messages for like 10 minutes at a time? If they're doing that, it's like, hey, maybe we should jump on a quick call, or can I come down and watch your training? Or like, if it's a woman as well, you depending, like, if they're straight, then you want to also be clear that you're not hitting on them or whatever, and you can tell them, like, oh, I'm really looking to build my career around this for my wife and my baby. Like, you can disarm that sort of things as well. Like, you got to be smart about, what does this person think I'm after? Because if she thinks you want to date her, then that's different, right? She might want that as well. Like, I'm not saying, but if that's not what you want to do, then so you got to look at, okay, what does this look like to that person, and how do I help them understand what it is that I want from this, and what you want from it is their dream outcome. So sending videos as well, like, of, if you could send like little clip videos, have all those saved on your phone of you doing those movements that you want, but show the dexterity of, like, hey, a lot of people are doing step ups now for their knees. Ben Patrick popularized them, progression after the sled works pain-free. But what we've seen is that if you go too high too early, it's a real risk factor. So, make sure you start low, and, you're actually better to progress weight low rather than going high, because that can really put a lot of stress on a knee. And we do want to get there. It's great to get to it, but it's probably not where we're going to start. Like, if they're into step ups, then showing like that depth of knowledge of like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm glad I heard that. Because to me, that is a really, really key thing. And like probably the biggest mistake you can make in ATG is someone's early in rehab, especially post ACL, and you go to high on step ups and they're not ready for it. You can really do a lot of damage to meniscus to like by height, more
Right.
so than by weight. I don't know if you've had that experience or, if you've thought about that but
No.
Ben's not as concerned about it, but I've seen it a bunch of times. I reckon a bunch of guys actually, have done damage, even who had healthy knees, because they're like, okay, like let's load it up, let's smash these step ups. Step ups amazing.
Are they is that during like really heavy loading as well, like low reps and stuff, or
just the height, man? The height is like that leverage it's deceptive. People think it's fine because it's just step ups, just body weight or whatever. It doesn't have to be heavy. If you're going off 9 inches and 12 inches, like when you're not very advanced with it, then it's a lot of load. Like you have to have really well developed knees.
yeah.
You don't have to have a lot of weight on that for it to be like, because there will, like, some people will have instinctively avoided knee over toe for a long time because they've had tendon pain. So then they haven't had any loading on the meniscus and the ligaments with that knee way of the toe. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, this is going to fix my knee, therefore I'm going to do it. And then they progress too fast. And like, Roosters had heaps of ACLs not too long after they put this in.
Oh, really?
You can never say, you can never know causation, but for whatever reason, like it seems like when you just mess around with it, that there's challenge with it. Maybe it's even the split squats and stuff as well when you're not, if you're not used to them. I don't know, like it's hard to quantify, but there is an important internal adaptation, and going slow with it is what Ben always talks about, and like using the zero for a long time. And but yeah, you having opinions and experience and going as deep as you can with the knowledge, and like maybe like if that's not true for you, then you're not going to say that, but you want to have things like that you can sort of discuss with people, that builds more trust, because you're like, okay, he's telling me the inside information on this that no one else is talking about. But you would need to know how deep she's gone on the ATG stuff. She probably doesn't do step ups like most people don't. Do their version of a normal version of step ups is stepping up onto a foot high box, maybe holding weights. Like that's traditionally what step ups were in gym, and most people have done them. But
like forward,
foot
in front, forward, and you're standing up like onto the box.
Stand up in the box.
Yeah. No, it's a lot to do, a lot to work, and like I was laughing while you were speaking. I was doing like 9-inch Poliquin step ups yesterday. So
and you're probably ready for it, and that's why you can dunk, and you haven't had the injuries. But for an average person, or even if they're athletic and powerful, if you haven't been training that specific position, then there's some risk with it. You need to go slow.
I find if I've not done it in a while, you do get a bit of like knee sensation, like joint sensation, like
making sure it's really warm and getting into it, and then just being conservative, especially if it's coming back from anything.
And
people think it's going to fix it, but
do you reckon I could leverage the fact that I've never had a serious injury, or nah?
Generally a weakness if you want to help people overcome injury, because you just don't understand. You've never been through it. So I would more so, you just got to build the credibility externally of, I've helped X amount of people get back to stuff. More from a performance perspective, it's credible. So if you want to help, want to help you avoid injury forever through intelligent training, I've been able to avoid injury my whole career because I'm careful with loading and blah blah blah. Like that's good credibility. But if
Yeah.
someone's already injured, then they're going to be like, oh, he's not the guy because he didn't come back from, like Ben Patrick's story of coming back from destruction, complete destruction, told he would
Yeah.
never do anything. That's much more interesting to someone who's currently in pain and currently being told they're not going to play again.
Yeah, and I find coming from that angle for me as well, like you say, I've never had a serious injury, so I have no concept of what they are going through, or like maybe with an ankle sprain, but
Yeah.
that's
But the more
about
you
it.
work with, yeah, the more you work with people, the more you'll sort of be able to feel it through them and sort of know what they're going through. That's why, yeah. But you could also focus on more on the performance side. But yeah, it's at the moment you just want to you want to have like it doesn't matter so much about the overall brand. It matters more about can you get a deep conversation with someone to understand what they want and then show with credibility that you can help them to get what they want. And it doesn't matter whether they for BJJ or golf or basketball. You're simply looking for case studies of I got you the outcome that you wanted. I have an offer. It's 12 weeks. It's £1,000. This is what we're going to get done. If you can't sell the duration that you want, like 6 months, 12 months, whatever, then sell the intro to it. Sell the 5-day experience. Sell the, hey, we're going to hang out. We're going to do a 3-hour session together and show you everything you need to know about this. You're going to understand it. Like the reason you have the short stuff to build trust, to sell the long stuff. But you want to have the long thing clear in your mind to sell. Like, this is my product. You get your programming looked after. We check in once a month, face to face. We go on an adventure every 3 months. Whatever is built into the thing, help you with the bonuses. Like, we're going to look after your body composition, or I've got someone who can get your blood work done, or like all the bonuses that they might want, things that you can look after. But then before, if you can't sell that, if you're not able to build the rapport or get deep enough with people that they want to buy your 12-month package or your 6-month package, you want to have it there and you want to try and sell it. Like, you want to practice selling it, because that in itself is a skill. It's like, you're not going to get good at shooting threes if you only ever go for layups.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to sell free stuff and that, it's like you just practicing your layups, but you can't just be standing under the ring all the time, because it's not going to work like that, in the game. So so you want to be taking those shots of like, we should work together. This is this is what you're going to get. Asking people how have you worked with personal trainers before? Like Chris O'Toole was saying, some people be like, I've had like 9 personal trainers. Like, cool, like let's get you started then, and just walk them over the desk and sign them up, because they're just used to doing it. Like, you don't even ask them if they want it.
Yeah.
Because they've bought it that many times, you don't bother selling them. But if they're like, no, I've never done personal training, then it's like, okay, well, this is going to be a different conversation.
Right. Okay.
So that this is the game that you're in now, Pete, is to learn this. And so you've got your, what I've put forward is like, everyone needs a $2,000 product. So whatever that is in pounds, you need a $2,000 product, and you want to offer that to people. You need to be offering that to people every week. How do you get to the point where you can offer it to them? And we need to be having conversations like we've spoken about today. But if they're not going to buy that, or they say no to that, then you downsell them of, okay, cool, like let's get an afternoon in together one weekend, and I can take you through how this all works, and we can break down what's going on for you with X, Y, Z, like why you're still fat, or why you can't run, or why you're not hitting the ball as far as you want, or so you downsell to your lead product, basically.
Yeah.
And you can have digital online lead magnet as well, and you can do that through phone call. But you want to have entry level stuff you can get them into that builds more rapport with them as well, like free stuff. I made this video, 1 hour athlete. It's one that I made in the past. Like, everything I wish someone had told me about being an athlete, when I wanted to go to the Olympics. Like I made a thing 1 hour athlete, and you're like, that could be your lead product, and you like get people watching it, get feedback on it, see what they learn. But that establishes more trust. You know what I mean? So have you got any of those kind of? Have you got some of those starter experiences?
Not particularly. No, I've been sort of focusing on the 6-week thing that I've been doing.
Yeah.
Maybe the starter thing could be like just a scoring workout for basketball players or something like that. So it's just like a little PDF file, and they go out and use, different footworks and finishes that they may not have used before. And that could be the lead magnet, or
So tell me about the 6-week product you built.
Okay, so it's
what's the big promise? What's the dream outcome?
So most of the lads want to improve their athleticism. Some of them are in pain with like tendonitis, shin splints. So getting out of pain, improving the athleticism, that's like the sort of two things that I've picked up on.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like entry level ATG.
Yeah.
And how many have you sold?
I haven't sold any.
How many have you given away?
I've given away 6 or 7.
Are they doing it?
Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 guys that have done a few workouts this week, and then another couple guys that aren't really engaging in it. Yeah,
which is what you expect when they don't pay.
Yeah.
How do you know? Who are they?
The lads that are going through it are the lads that have coached basketball for 5, 6, 8 years or whatever. So they know who I am. And then the other guys are a little bit older. Still played basketball with them, but probably not that same level of authority with them.
Yeah. So the chances of you retiring yourself from truck driving with that are very slim.
Yeah, 100%.
So you need to build an offer. You need to build a 2K offer like that. And to build that product should have taken you 20 minutes, like less than a day, whatever that product is. Of like do ATG 0, like you just film yourself doing a workout, put some voiceover to it, done. Like
put it on the like initial buy-in product thing.
That 6-week thing.
Oh right, okay.
What is there to it? Like there's not much to it, is there? Like you can put a bunch of text around it, but they're not going to read it. Like they don't really care. How you going, David? You're on mute there at the moment, but yeah, you're up next. Pete was we've been having a conversation here. Pete's over in the UK working on basketball. You'll need to hit the unmute. Let me see if I can just get on. Yeah. There we go.
Cool.
Pete's
jump in.
Pete's exercise science, sports science graduate in the UK. Played decent level basketball. He's a bit of multi-sport. Played some good golf and BJJ as well. And he's about to become a father, and he's wanting to build a business that can support a family. And he's done the honourable thing and taken on some work driving trucks in the UK. He's learnt the skill, and he's making some money with that. But he's looking to become a business person through training people. That's
I called you last month, Pete, and you're telling me about it all. Yeah.
So,
very nice.
There you go. You guys already know each other. That's the nature of uncommon success. There. Excellent. So wrapping up, Pete, I want you to reflect on the conversation and send me some thoughts. But we need to have a way that you can win, where it's okay. You need to make £3,000 a month. You need a £1,000 product, and you sell 3 of them each month, and it needs to be better than ATG 0. you could like it could start with that, but you just don't sell it as that of like, hey, I'll fix your shin splints. It needs to be, okay, this is a custom solution. These are the bonuses. Like build it out as a proper offer. I think I posted in a group yesterday. If I didn't, I'll post it again, like a summary of the offers section. There's an offers section within the vault, within the life system, and you can like map out what an offer actually is and have an offer. You need to have an offer. And then your 6-week thing wouldn't be entry level. It's more like a single workout or a 5-day challenge or a 3-day challenge or a one-off consult. And you want to be doing lots of them so that you're building rapport with people. And then there'll be a ratio between how many do that and how many take on the 1,000 pounds, 12 weeks, get the ultimate solution. And you only need 12 people to be in your 1,000 pound, 12-week thing. And you hit that goal that you're talking about. That's 4,000 pounds a month.
Yeah.
And it's not crazy money if you stack the value, but my feeling is at the moment is you're less likely to scale. Like it's less likely that you're going to have something that goes viral that you're selling 1,000 of. It's much easier to make $1,000 sale than to make 1,000 $1 sales. To make 1,000 $1 sales is fucking hard work. To make one $1,000 sale is actually really easy if you're willing to have conversations and just put the offer to people.
Yeah.
Obviously build the credibility, but just build the offer. So that's how you can win, Pete. And you definitely can, but it can be bespoke. And so having to think about what you want your profile to reflect. If you are the shin splints guy, and then make your profile reflect that and be on a mission. I solve the world's shin splints, but you want to play to your strengths. Your strengths are that you're multi-sport athlete, and that you care and that you want to work closely with people. You could sell that 12 weeks for 250 pounds to the first 5 people. So you're like, okay, yeah, this is crazy value. I'm doing weekly Zoom. I'm doing custom programming. I'm giving them bonus, food plan, body composition change. Like just, that's an offer when it's like, okay, I'm going to fix your life. It's going to be crazy cheap. And I just need to get some case studies under my belt, and then you let them know from the start that it's not going to stay like that. But the ones who buy your cheap thing are probably not going to be the ones that are going to be your $1,000 a month clients a quarter. Did you speak with the George, the Portuguese British in Madeira?
No, I don't think I have.
He's going through this. He's, I think, had a gym in Bristol, but he's moved to Portugal now. He's a nice man. He's a good man. He's placing a premium offer. I think it's £1,000 a month, to market to his people that are going to his studio there. So he could be a good one to speak to as well, because it's pretty much what he's selling is what you would like you to be selling, something along those lines as well.
Yeah. Do you know his last name?
Camacho. It's Jorge, like Jorge, but
Jorge, yeah.
But it's not Jorge. It's George. It's Portuguese. So they
okay.
Something like that. I always mess it up, but yeah.
Oh, nice one, Keegan.
Send me some thoughts, Pete. I want to see you win with this. We've spent a bunch of time over the years, and in the end, you win. It's just the question of the path. We don't know the path. The fun is in finding the path.
Yeah. That's it. Like I say, at least I've been like focusing on something, like trying to build something, and it's there for other things as well. I might have spent too much time on this certain product, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, it's good. 100%. It's good that you're in motion and you're testing something and you've got it to the, like, congratulations on doing that. A lot of people never get to that point with an online thing that they've got people doing it. And it is a good step along the way, but I would like you to be where you want to be by December, or, I would like it to be sooner, and it can be sooner if you have an offer that you can put to people, and then you go to all the golf clubs, you go to you just need to have a thing of I am actually you do have already good stuff, so it's just a question of putting a proposition. Would you like to hit the ball further with less pain, feel fresher on the golf course, lose a stone? Let's go. What do you?
Yeah.
If you have that conversation with 100 men, there'll be 5 of them that'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. You're a good man. You're not. You want to help them. You can help them.
Yeah.
Just need to learn to have the conversation in a way that
takes it that way.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All
Chris,
right.
Chris O'Toole would be a good one to speak to as well. Chris O'Toole's helping us out with more sales stuff. He's going to help us build more.
Yeah, I was watching the Mastermind from last week with him and Liam. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, man. All right. Let's continue the conversation. Look forward to hearing your outcomes from today.
Nice one. Thank you.
Cheers, Pete.
Yeah, sorry, Pete, for jumping out.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, this is how it works, David. Usually these are 15
okay.
minutes, but I gave Pete a good while there because he's about to become a father and he needs to get this to another level. So usually they're 15 minutes and they're back to back. But and there's often a group on here, but for whatever reason, my assistant decided it didn't need to be public today. So how are you, David?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Just 7 o'clock at night here in New Zealand, and dressed up for the cold, but everything's good. Just doing the future expander, and I'm fucking sore. Just from I don't even get how I'm sore. It's because I've
it's deceptive.
Reintroduced running as well, because the first thing I saw from you, been following you since maybe 2016 when you were training Sonny Bill Williams and you're doing a Bronco pyramid or something. So I've just been getting back into that, and I think that's where the soreness from the legs is, and then just daily 5 minutes on all those exercises adding up, and it's good. Just extending myself a bit, which is while I'm in the program. So all good.
Good. Give me a little bit more of your background. I've seen sort of a few messages here and there, but we haven't spoken yet. So.
Oh geez. So I'm a cop at the moment. I've been a cop for 4 months now, but before that, I had a bit of a career in the army here in New Zealand. And as I got a bit older, police turned up as something where I could extend myself a bit more and get out of that environment of the army was becoming like kindergarten, where I felt like I'd done everything I could at that level, and it's time to make a bigger impact in the community as a cop. So I don't even have an entrepreneurial bone in my body. I got into the program because you were doing handstand push-ups and one arm chin-ups, and I was like, okay, all that stuff helps.
What's your
helps with work?
What's your height and weight and sporting background?
So 187 centimeters tall and 101 kgs at the moment, and sports background, I guess just being in New Zealand is just rugby, but never to like a high level or anything, because once I joined the army, I was just in that world. And
how old were you then?
I was 21. When I joined the first time.
What did you do before that?
So before that, it was just like I guess I didn't really know what I was doing. I just followed along.
Something. Be doing some labouring or?
yeah, uni, tried everything, just wasn't
What
really,
did
I
you,
didn't really have
what did you
perseverance
start
or
at uni?
anything. Law and it's a long time ago now, law and psychology or something, but it's just because I went to a school where that was kind of what everyone else did. So I just followed along, and then even though I wasn't really sure. But
In Auckland or
nah, I was in Christchurch.
a good school?
Yeah, good
Well,
school.
like,
Yeah,
a private school kind of setup,
yeah,
or yeah.
private school one. Yeah.
All right. So what did your parents want you to do?
They weren't too. They didn't really. They just their boundaries were just be a good person, and they kind of let me find it on my own,
Yeah.
like through my own mistakes.
Yeah.
And it took a while, but yeah, I'm getting somewhere now.
How
Yeah.
old are you?
How old now? 36.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so, how's it so far in the police force? If you did have you just done the training and then 4 months actually in the job, or is it you've been doing the training for 4 months, or?
I've finished the training, and I've been 4 months in the job now. Yeah.
Gotcha. How is it?
It's everything that I wanted. It's definitely me.
Good.
Just just like I've never felt. I guess near-death experiences make you feel more alive. If you,
Yeah.
in my second week, I had, like, I'm just in a country town, but in my second week, I had my rifle pointed at someone. Like, it was quite a surreal moment. And then last week, I rolled up some guy, guns and knives everywhere. But it's just becoming normal now. And like like stuff like the juggling and just the physicality and all that stuff that I've been developing through here is helping me just come up with options on the go. And the breathing and but I can always, I've got a lot more to give, and so next year, like, I want to get as fit and smart as I can be, so I can go to a special tactics group and just get increase my knowledge and skills to help out the team a bit better, so a bit more.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Really cool. So the main thing for you at the moment, or the main motivation for being a part of this, is to be challenged on the physicality side of things, and like continue to develop yourself in ways that you didn't even know that you wanted to develop, I guess, is with the juggling and the foot juggling and stuff. Is that the main thing, or?
It was the main thing, but now it will be the top thing, but I'm not neglecting the opportunities that are there especially with the richer area, because like I'm not, based on your video today, I'm not in a financially strong position, but I'm in a good spot where I can springboard from where I'm at now, even without having a business on the side. So I've already done that 30-day challenge with Pool Council, just tracking your spending. Just a real simple thing like that was a real big eye opener to me on just the bullshit spending that I do. Well, I did, but now just cutting stuff out is it's really rewarding and gives me a lot of hope to do it at a bigger scale when as I can build on month by month on what I'm learning So just starting with that discipline as a good bedrock, and then from there, how to increase that income. Well, just from my normal pay, and then I don't know, who knows down the line. I've got a home gym just since the pandemic. I've just bit by bit now I've got pretty much everything. So who knows down the line to get some people down the gym at mine and develop there.
And what's your family situation? I see the teddy bear behind your head there by the looks of it.
Oh, teddy bear. Oh, that's my partner's or my fiance's teddy bear. Well, just a gift from her dad. But it's just myself and the fiance at the moment, and kids. Yeah, we're trying for kids, and we'll see down the line when that happens. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good, exciting. So, best case, you just from what I'm hearing, and you can add to this or correct me. Best case is you keep getting better at what you're doing. You get into this higher level of training and continue to upskill and play a bigger role, better role in security there in New Zealand, and potentially on the side you start to train some people and get some experience with that in the gym, so you know what that's like and see if you like it, see if you can make some money from it. Maybe one day it turns into something more, or you need to use it for whatever reason. Gives you another point of certainty and some more experiences, and you want to continue to learn and apply things around getting to a place of more financial freedom and more options. Is that like decent? What would you add to that?
In a short summation, I'm not sure if I could add anything to that. That's just like primary drivers at the moment that are in my head right now. Yeah.
Be a good husband and father when the time comes. Is that also on the radar?
Yeah, of course.
No, I wasn't chipping you on it. I was thinking about probably the other big thing that seems like it's in your mind.
Yeah, you've got to think about the full spectrum of the person that I am, I guess. Yeah, but no, that's good for make me aware. Like it's not the only thing in my life. Yeah, that I need to maintain. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got a date? Are you getting married or?
Probably end of next year. So just heaps of time just to.
Recently engaged, or?
No, at the start of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's the culture now, isn't it? We got engaged during the footy season, and then we got married at the end of the season. When that was 2013 for me. It was the year that the Roosters won the premiership.
Roosters, that's right.
Yeah. We got married in the off season, but we didn't know when the off season was going to be. We ended up going all the way to the grand final when at one stage it didn't look like we were going to make the playoffs, and then the season went extra long, so the wedding kept getting pushed back. And then I had a trip to Thailand already booked. I went with Ido Portal in Thailand for an internship the day after the grand final. So we flew out. I didn't do all the Mad Monday and that. I flew out to Thailand to training camp the day after the grand final, and then we came back and found our wedding venue and got married. So it was a bit like that for us, but it was beautiful in its own way. It wasn't the massive build up to weddings that some people have, which probably suited me better. But
I'm the same. I just she's sorting it out, but we're at opposite ends where we need to meet in the middle. I just want like minimal. She wants
I know the story. I've seen others go through it, but ours was sort of the circumstances dictated the process. We had a beautiful wedding. It was by the beach in like Clovelly, Coogee, just south of Bondi there, and we had a little bowling club venue, and we had friends there, and it was beautiful. But yeah, got photos on the head at Coogee, but it was pretty simple and on relatively short notice, so that helped. But yeah, 10 years later, we're still married. We've been through quite a bit. We've got our third child on the way, and yeah, it is a beautiful thing. It's a good thing for a man to step into that role of the husband and provider for the family, and having the children to look after. And I think it's another phase of development that gives everything else more meaning as well. So
yeah.
And a lot of men, a lot of the men within Uncommon Success have their families as well. So I'm looking forward to bringing more of that into the conversation. It hasn't been as much of a focus within it, in a big part because it hasn't felt like a strength of mine. But last year, like, things have improved a lot, and I've sort of understood better how to, my role, and how to play my role in the family better. And things have improved a lot. So yeah, I look forward to kind of having more conversations around that together as men. And it was putting that on the table of like being a great husband and what is a great husband. It's not necessarily what TV is telling you a great husband is, but it's like it should be on the table of how do we do this role better? Same as we're thinking about how to improve our physicality. So yeah, I think we've got a good picture there. I think that gives us a foundation, David. And then, whenever we're having conversations, I know a bit more about you and where you're coming from, where you're going to. I would challenge you and encourage you to invite one or two other guys to come train in your gym and take someone on as a bit of a project. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about the entrepreneurial business side of it initially, but get that feeling for taking some responsibility of setting up sessions and guiding someone through a journey. And just get a feel for, do I like this? Do I not like it? What would I like to do differently? Who would I rather work with than who I've chosen here? Or, just getting those experiences, I think is a great place to start.
I've started with fiance doing muscle basics. So
yeah, that's good. And having her and having that bond, that's cool. Yeah, if you could, like, is that something that, imagine you couldn't be in the police force or army for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Would having a gym or being a personal trainer probably be like your next go-to thing that you would do if you could do it? Or what else would you think about?
Sheep and beef farming.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's good. Yeah, love it as well. Yeah. Do you have any land? Is there any land in the family?
No, I don't. But fiance's got links to a huge farm in the country. A couple of hours away.
Yeah.
So I do think about that as a
cool,
as a maybe down the line. Yeah, that'd be nice to have my own food source, and I will provide that. Beef and lamb here is so good, and it's really encouraged here to eat it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
Something.
Yeah. So again, that gives me something of like who you could connect with. Like Tony Scholes has a really good gym in Queensland, but he had $4 million plus worth of property, and I think the family was running 100,000 beasts at one stage. I think he had like 30,000 or something himself. And just having those conversations and getting to know, just talking to him about, how did it work and what did you run and what would you do differently and what do you know about New Zealand agriculture? In Vanuatu, we've got a 70-year-old-ish Australian man who's helping us out with developing the cattle side of our project over there. He's got a wealth of knowledge. Like, he was able to run some really high quality stuff. He rehabilitated a lot of land in Australia that was, unfarmable and turned it into good pasture. Made a lot of money.
Yeah, nice.
I think he had 10 or 11 farms. He sort of did them up, and so there's learning to be had around sort of that sort of stuff as well. So I encourage you to sort of be open to it and just challenge yourself to progress into it. Of 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, when I retire, this is my vision for myself, and it doesn't take away from what you're doing now. I sense that you're very passionate about what you're doing. It's great. I'm not going to tell you, you know, you shouldn't have a job. It's not about that. Like, I do love business, and I love men to feel as though they can have a business. And so I'd like you to get to that point where you feel like, okay, I know how to run a cattle farm, or I know how to run a like, you know, personal training, or, you know, other options. And that's a good position to be in, because there was a situation not too long ago where a number of people in police and hospitals and stuff felt like the government wasn't really looking out for their best interest, and some of them had to step down from their jobs and stuff because they weren't in agreement with what the government was saying.
Yeah.
Ideally, that doesn't happen again, but there's no guarantees. They won't just say, well, look, this is the new requirements, and if it doesn't agree with your ethics, then yeah, I don't want you to have to do something because I've got a child, and you know, I want you to think ahead.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, because a few of us been talking about it at work, because we've had a guy come back in who's allowed back in because he didn't want the vaccine. But yeah, I regret getting it, and I'll never again. I won't do it again. I'm just lucky that I haven't been affected by it. Had a 22-year-old kid come through the cells last week who's already had 2 heart attacks since. It's sad. Yeah.
And it's not to say it's that, you know, it could be something completely different. That's like, okay, now you have to X, Y, Z. I've got no idea. Like, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just saying, I want you to be in the strongest position, and I'm not judging you for, you know, taking it or whatever. Like, I had a bunch of friends that took it. Some of them really were happy to take it. I had family members that took it and whatever. And I understand. The thing is just, okay, that is more of a legit thing. It's not a fantasy anymore that thing could arise. Like, it just arose. So let's put ourselves in positions where, okay, if I needed to go without work for 12 months, all right, I've got the cash aside for that. If I need to pick up other work, okay, I've got those other skills. You know, I've got this plan for going into the country if I need to go into the country. But you can see me, like, I'm planning, if I need to live in Vanuatu, that's what I'm going to do. If I need to live in Montenegro, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up another base in Paraguay. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but I love the places anyway. I love being able to say, hey, come out and hang out and see a different side of the world. It's beautiful over in Vanuatu. Like, it's an amazing experience to go pig hunting up in the, you know, that landscape. And so there's no downside to it for me. And I want other men in the network to ask themselves those hard questions now, rather than, okay, it comes up, haven't thought about it, fuck, now I'm pretty coerced. Like, now there's not much decision to be made. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Should we? Oh, it's been a bit over 15 minutes. Is this get off for the next guy?
There's only these 2 booked in this morning. I wasn't doing any of these individual ones, and I started up again. So most of the guys who really wanted one, I've probably done 100 in the last months, and it's really good. Like, I do love actually knowing the people in the program. Like, the goal for me isn't passive income from this business. It's how do we build this really high quality international network. I don't actually think this business is going to be an important business for me in the longer term. I think it's an important social network, but then for it to be that, it has to be committed men, you know? So yeah, it's good to meet you and good to know each other, and ask away. Or share away. What were you going to say? What were you going to share? Or were you just saying you need to get off?
No, yeah, I was just wondering if someone else was waiting, so I'd like to just take off or something. But no, all good. But yeah, thanks so much. I won't take up too much of your time, but yeah, it was really good to meet you, and thanks for opening up the spot, you know, for the little people to come and talk to the big man.
No, it's not like that, man. Like, we're all big men. Like, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, I do value my time, and I have, you know, I've done good stuff in my life, but so have you. And you know, you've put your life on the line, and you've made strong decisions. And you know, I respect you and respect your decision to be here. And I want you to grow into the best man that you can imagine for, you know, being. And if that means, okay, well, yeah, I've got farmlands and I know how to train people, but becoming more capable outside of those realms, I know you've spent a long time within these sort of more institutional environments where you know what's expected of you. I'm sure it's like it's challenging you in a way of like, okay, all these guys are doing all this different stuff, and there's different ways of thinking about things here and different ways of training. And I'd imagine that some people in your backgrounds would think it's funny, some of the stuff that you're doing, or think it's strange, and they wouldn't understand why you'd put yourself in this environment. Is that?
Yeah, especially with like being open with people, where like because with social media, especially, you don't talk about yourself or talk about how great you are, because there's always someone better.
Yeah.
So it's this thing that I've, you know, through in that institution, you do your best, but you don't talk about it. But,
That's
so
the tall poppy thing of Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like guys do limit themselves and they play small, but you know, I've had a lot more American influence over the last few years, and I've had to express myself to be able to get results with, man. Like that's the nature of the thing that I'm building, an international network.
Yeah.
Like you have to put yourself forward, and to an extent, I don't like doing it. Like I am naturally more introverted and private, but I want to do this, and I know I need to do this. So you know, these are the decisions that I've made for myself and my family. Time will tell, but like I love having this international network, and you know, that's the decision. So you don't have to. There's no one way of doing it, and I like that you're in here and you're doing a job that you want to continue to do. And I'm still going to challenge you to expand, but I'm not telling you you're not in the game because you're in the police. Like that's not how it works. Like the game is you becoming the uncommon success that you want to be. And if everything goes to plan and you work another 10 years there, and then you take your retirement, your pension, happy days. But on the side, you're going to know so much more. You're going to be so well connected. You're going to have amazing holiday leave, experiences, and that's beautiful. Like that's the way it goes down for you. You invest smarter on the side with something. You look at different options of things that you wouldn't have even thought about or looked at. Like that's a beautiful journey as well. There's no one way to experience this. If 12 months from now you're like, oh, I can be making this amount of income from a farming project, and I can be making this amount of income from personal training, and I'm just not sure if I really want to put myself in this environment now that I've got a child or whatever. Then you'll have more capacity to know, okay, I can change, and you've met all these other guys who've made these changes. Like that's what I want for you. But you're the boss, you're the driver, and I'm glad that you're here and you're open to having these conversations and you're taking on the experience. And let's see how it unfolds. It can, improve the athleticism and continue to ask yourself the questions. And it's up to you to answer in the way that makes most sense. But we definitely need policemen, and I respect police and army, and Western civilization's built on those institutions are strong. I've been to countries where those institutions are really weak, and it's not fun times. So it's something that needs to be there. And don't feel as though you're inferior to anyone because you're doing that case. So it's everyone's you'll find that you get that respect from other guys, and but it is good also if you're learning about how farms work, or you're learning about how gym businesses work, or you're learning we will want you to have that expansion still. It's not just that you're comfortable in your wage and you're just going to train. You know what I mean?
No, everything here, is here to serve me, and I don't even know how yet or why, but like if I just still keep open to it, then something will click, and then I think there's an opportunity.
And it's already clicking, man. I can tell that things are open up, and you question, and you even just looking at how you're managing your money and having, listening to Paul, like it's going to be a bit mind bending at times, like it was for me, and it continues to be for me when I listen to Paul's stuff and that. But ultimately, like I really treasure that transfer of information that I've had with him. And yeah, it's a good journey ahead, man. So you're very welcome here with us, and I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to the journey ahead. And yeah, enjoy the future expander. I'll be checking out your results and your things that are coming up for you as you go through the questions and such.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's such a cool program. Like nothing, just every day is just, how did you come up with all this content with like a theme for the day? And yeah, it's amazing. Really good questions.
Yeah, I've been at this stuff for a long time, and it's sort of always there just under the surface to share these things. It's what I'm meant to be doing. My father was a coach and leading men, and I think it's pretty deeply wired into me to want to get the best out of the men around me, and find that's how I get the best out of myself as well, as when I'm connecting in that environment. So I can still do it better, and that's the fun of it. It's like keep getting better at it. I love it. So
sweet. Hey, have you talked to Shane Shackleton yet? Yep,
we've had a few conversations. Yeah, have you guys spoken?
Good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've spoken with him. That was a really good chat. Just I was surprised he's the only ex-footy player I've noticed in the
John
program,
Clayton,
and he was what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
John Clayton was like junior Queensland
player. Yeah, that's right.
He
played in the same 20s team or something with him.
Yeah, he didn't make the NRL. I don't think he played NRL, but yeah, there's been a bunch over the years, But Shane's the highest profile. Sean Kenny Dowell's actually got the membership underneath from what I was running a year ago. Lindsay Collins as well with the Roosters.
Oh yeah.
And another guy, Kiwi, that's playing in England at the moment. Played for the Kiwis a bunch as well. He was in the $97 thing as well. There's a few guys that check it out, but yeah. But yeah, what were you going to say there with Shane?
Oh, just with Shane, he's got a good opportunity to get because he sees people from his era that are really struggling with a purpose, and I was just telling him he's got such a good opportunity to get them on board, because these guys, you're retired a long time and they haven't moved on from getting cut.
That's the goal, is to make it a game that life's just as fun. Like, that's what the whole story is. Uncommon Professionals, like being a pro footy player, and you got stuff to do and you're getting after it and you're being held to a standard, and you gradually it's fallen into, it's becoming more and more of what I want it to be. But life should be exciting and fun, and you get up each day like looking forward to playing the game, and that's how I want it to be, and it is getting there more and more. So have you checked out the Discipline Action Brotherhood yet?
No, I haven't done that yet. I'm just doing Future Expander, but if you do Discipline Action Brotherhood, is that an expectation of doing it every day for a month, or is it just once a day?
So it's because what I've found, David, is that men want to have businesses, but they don't have any business assets, or they're just, they procrastinate on things, they're distracted, and then they're like frustrated of like, oh, I didn't get the result that I wanted. I was like, well, if you want to be a good footy player or you want to be good at BJJ, you better turn up and be on the mats. And this gives us an opportunity of like, well, all right, I want to prove to you that I'm on the mats. So you put your camera on, you sit down and you do the work that you know you need to do. And so you say to the other guys, okay, I'm going to work on my sales page for this next 50 minutes, and then you either do it or you don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, so you're always going to do the work once you're actually in that. So we're going to set up, because a lot of the guys, if they are personal trainers or something, then their whole time's on their own. They're free to do whatever they want to do, but then they can get really distracted and spend 2 hours training and then 2 hours just hanging around talking to people and whatever. You know what I mean? So if we can commit, okay, you said you're going to do 3 hours a day on your business, like prove it. These are the times you're going to show up and prove it. So we want it to not be like a job in the sense that but it's somewhere between a job and the full freedom of like, I've committed to these times. I've said I was going to do it. These are the times I was going to be online. Now I'm online. This is what I said I was going to get done this month. This is what I need to get done today. Like being more structured, even though it's self-directed, but that's really the goal with it. So it's there for each player to choose how much time they're going to put in and what they're going to work on. But there is a structure around it as well. And what we found is like the micro connections that happen in between the blocks are also really powerful. So you connect with someone else, you hear, okay, yeah, this is what I'm working on, this is what you're working on. And so that's been really good with building the connection, building the network as well. So on the hour, each hour, like from the 55 until the 5, there's usually men having a chat in there of, what they just worked on and what they're working on next. And there is a course that goes with it. And I advise you to take the course. And it's a system to sort of structure your life. Okay, what needs to get done? So we have the Youngcom 25, right? 25 days each month. Yeah. We go hard on building something, on improving ourselves, on doing something. And so the idea is you break that down and then into, okay, what do I need to get done this month? Okay, this month I'm going to understand how to run a farm in New Zealand. First 5 days, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with this farmer and I'm going to write summary notes. I'm going to understand the economics of that. This 5 days, I'm going to look into the regulations. I'm going to understand what's going on with, this one I'm going to look at how to improve soil quality. And you write yourself a plan for the month so that by the end of the month, you can say, well, yeah, I know a shitload more about farming in New Zealand than I knew at the start. And you put it into your Notion and that's an example project that you could take on for an Uncom 25. You might not do it this one because you're doing the future, the Freedom Expander, or the Future Expander. But that could be something that you do next month, or you could do it in the future. You know what I mean? And so it's a structure that goes around that, and then you could get on at that time and say, yeah, I'm focused on this for the next hour. I'm going to be learning from this guy's the go-to man in New Zealand. I'm going to listen to his YouTube video. I'm going to make notes on it to understand the opportunities that are here at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you set up a project and then there should be an outcome from that project by the end of the month. Like you're ready to make a presentation to the group about farming in New Zealand or raising sheep in New Zealand, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right,
so
gotcha.
It's about having clear outcomes of I'm doing the work and this is what I built,
Okay. Yeah, I'll come up with something to I don't know, a big project to work on for before I get in. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be an hour a day. If you can commit an hour a day of like, okay, you'd be a mile ahead after 25 days. Like it's amazing what you can get done and the idea is that it's focused time. So you don't let yourself get distracted because that's the time that we're in you got the advantage if you're not spending a lot of time on socials and stuff, but personal trainers who are like selling from Instagram and posting on Instagram, it can pull you into that rabbit hole of just wasting a bunch of time on there. So that's also part of the thing. It's like, okay, no distractions, work on what you said you're going to work on. It's been amazing. Like guys are like, oh, finally got my, got stuff that usually takes me a week because I procrastinate on it and do days. It take me 2 hours or 3 hours. And I think it's actually going to be better than, dense and range. Like I think it's going to have more impact. It's a different thing, but it's, there's the fun for me is in looking to make sort of innovative solutions that leverage stuff that's already going on, but then do it in a different way and see if it works better. That's what I think, dense and range training do that in the training world. They're better than just doing 3 sets of 8 on legs and arms and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do with productivity and business building as well. It's like, how do we create new technology solutions?
Yeah. All right. I'll let you go because
let's go.
My partner that it's been a 15-minute call. It's all good, but she'll be wondering where I am. But I'll go. So let you know what.
Good to speak, David. Nice to meet you. And speak again soon.
Thanks, Keeks. Yeah, nice to meet you, and I'll catch you down the line. All right.
Good man.
Right. Take care, mate.